So crew are the human element of the game. You've got these giant spaceships, but the crew are your connection to the spaceship, and that's how you're going to do it through them. They're your bridge crew. They're the officers that lead all those thousands of people that they're inside. They make the decisions. They feed back to you on the game. They even taunt your enemies, and we've got huge plans of what we want to do with them in the future, and they're going to be awesome.
For me, there's a lot of reasons for having crew in that refer to the gameplay and also players expanding what they can do with ships and sort of expanding their personal view of our world, if you like. But the starting point for crew comes in for me that you look at any of the big science fiction franchises, Star Wars, Star Trek, Firefly, Battlestar Galactica. You have all these amazing ships, you have all this hard tech, huts, technology and everything, but it all comes down to the characters, and without that bridge crew that you have, you don't have anything to bring life to it. And I think from that point, having these huge ships and knowing who your bridge crew are that command it was a great starting point on what crew should be. So we have these very, very different portraits that sort of give you an inkling into the world and the characters, but their main focus is the role that they play. And each role and each crew has a different impact on what they do to the ships. So a tactics officer may improve your targeting ability or the damage you can inflict. An engineer might reduce your warm-up or cool-down times on jumps. And they all have these little roles they play, and they act modifiers to the ships themselves. So you can change your crew loadout to change the effect they have on the crew, on the ship. And then beyond that, all the crew have unique voices that communicate what's happening in the player's world. So if they've destroyed an enemy, or they're being targeted, or their system's been shut down, the voices of the right crew member would communicate what's happening to you. As well as all crew are able to taunt the enemy. So if you destroy another player, we will trigger, one of your crew members will taunt them, which gives you a chance to show your crew to other people. So every time you take them down, one of your unique crew set will fire off an insult to the guy you just killed. The first thing was working out what lines we're going to trigger, making sure we're covering all the bases on information to the player, and working out roughly how we're going to implement the filter system. Once that was done, we scripted the lines. We set up a voiceover session at Shepperton Studios with Vinewood. And we had a day last week where we got all the actors in, doing a couple of characters each, and it was great. We were in this wonderful Foley studio at Shepperton, where we actually talked us through a whole number of cool movies that they did audio for.
Where they're filming Star Wars there at the moment.
Yeah. They
cool.
All sorts of things from Scott Pilgrim and Kick-Ass that they did the Foley for inside the thing. Scott Pilgrim's got great audio, and we were in that room. It was fantastic. But we had the actors in going through the lines, and it's one of those things. It's terrible VO recording because you start off and everybody's analysing every line and make sure you get the right performance, but it's bizarrely draining because you're going through lines and repeats and everything else, and it takes a few hours, and it's just really hard to concentrate. But I think everybody was kind of getting into it and just enjoying it enough that it kept the energy going. So it was really cool. The voices were all incredibly different, as the images are for them. So hopefully we'll have some nice diversity between the characters on launch.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the crew is that there's so many places we can go. I mean, as we've talked to people about this game for sort of months on end, going around visiting anywhere from press to people we might do work with and things like that, talked about the crew and talked about our vision for the crew, and it's always gone down really well. It's always been really exciting because there's just so much more we can do, even beyond our initial implementation, because we have the notion of legendary crew, like these crew who are going to be bigger than big characters in our world, and they would have from the basics down at the bottom end. Their stats would be more extreme, so they might have a big plus on weapons, but they might be very poor at something else. So they're not any better, but they have some big extremes, and obviously that would influence the way you play with them. But again, getting some really cool artwork for them. So those captains' artwork, for example, if it's a legendary captain, is something awesome. We're talking to some amazing artists that might help us do some really beautiful pictures for those characters. And then the thing that we're really excited about, and everybody we've met is really excited about, is getting some known actors in. And everybody, as soon as you say that, goes, I know who I would want, and they're like, I would want that guy as my captain. That's got to be my captain. That's got to be my TAC officer. That's got to be my thing. And we've got this great list of people that we'd like to have, and they're, even from various sci-fi shows we've seen, and they might not be the lead character, but you're like, that guy's got a great voice, and this, I would be excited to have him. And it varies around the world. So, like in the UK. Like lots of us go on about Brian Blessed, right? What an amazing voice, what a ridiculous guy that would be, but an awesome captain to have. You talk to the Americans, like they're going, oh, well, why not get Samuel L. Jackson? We're going, look, that could be a little bit expensive, but maybe one day. But obviously, there's the sci-fi big names. So you talk about like Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner, Patrick Stewart. Those are the obviously Star Trek ones, and then we've got many others that we've been brainstorming.
Firefly.
You've got crew of Firefly, obviously. Jim's would like us to go out and look at those, but really going out there and sort of nailing some really good characters that you would love to just have as your crew on your ship, and having them as part of your game. And you imagine those chatting away to you as you're playing the game, and they're telling you that your engines are down, or let's go for it, or taunting an enemy. They'll be a really good part of the game. Thanks for watching, and look out for the next dev vlog next time.